welcome back to the CSS podcast. We are live on YouTube, coming to you also courtesy of Riverside FM. I'm your host, Dave, followed by the gentleman in the middle, Charlie, and my son on the right there, Sam. This is episode number 67, titled Cincinnati's Struggles. And yes, the week that was, we'll talk about all the struggles of the Cincinnati football teams. But up until then, did you guys have a great Thanksgiving and a good break? So,
yeah,
how was it?
Yeah, up until a couple hours ago.
Yeah, it was good. It was, a few days to catch my breath and do some catch up on some things in life, and then we go from there. So yeah.
Yep, we had our first annual Ryder Cup Challenge, the Wolfers team versus the Smoker Boys, and needless to say, it was a clean sweep by the Wolfers team. So shout out to us for winning the first ever Ryder Cup Challenge, though. All right, so let's go ahead and instant reaction. Excuse me, right now with the Bengals taking that loss 16-10 to the Steelers. A few things of note, right? This is the first time in 59 games that the Steelers offense have gained over 400 yards. Way to go, Bengals defense. Freiermuth went off on us again. Last year he had 75 and 76 yards on 8 catches. Today, I don't know how many catches he had, but he had over 100 yards. 9 catches. He had over 100 yards. And the last 5 games, he had a total of like 55 yards in those 5 games that he's played. The offense was anemic, and we're making Pickett look like the number one draft choice. Not a first round pick, but the number one overall draft pick. But play calling, we can get into that. We can get into defense, but it was just a bummer. I mean, we win that game. We got the tiebreaker with Pittsburgh, 6-5. Looks like Houston might lose.
You have a chance. If you win that game, you have a chance.
Now you don't.
They're done. They're done.
Right. And so, I don't know, thoughts on the game, where we stand, what we need to do,
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Pittsburgh, for the first time in 4 seasons now, they got 400 yards of total offense. I mean, that's the starting point for me. That's unacceptable. That offense is terrible. Kenny Pickett legitimately might be the 6th best quarterback in the division. I mean, Huntley, all the starters are better. Huntley, the backup for the Ravens, is better. And DTR might be better for the Cleveland Browns. I think with time, it'll show he's a better quarterback. And we let them just do whatever they want. Yeah, the points weren't there because they still suck. So, there's still some of that to it. But to give up 400 yards of offense to the Pittsburgh Steelers is terrible. So, yeah, I mean, you just can't have that. And then I don't know if anybody told Zach Taylor, but Joe Burrow is injured. He's not playing. He's not the quarterback. So maybe you should adjust your play calling accordingly. I don't think he realized that. Joe Mixon had 8 rushes. No other running backs had any rushes. Ran the ball 8 times today with a backup quarterback.
13 yards, 14 yards, something like that, I think.
With a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
You only run it 8 times. I don't know what planet Zach Taylor's on, what recipe, what he was trying to cook up there to think that a backup quarterback could just come out and carve up a defense, especially a Pittsburgh Steelers defense. No, you run the ball, you control the clock, and you take a couple shots on play action. That's all you do, and you try and win. But no, he wants to throw the ball 35 times. He wants to nickel and dime it, wants to try and carve him up. Thinks Jake Browning can just be Joe Burrow because he thinks he's the genius. He thinks the success is because of him and his scheming and not the fact that he's got Joe Burrow out there. Absolute moron. is what he is.
Crawley, you're the voice of reason, right?
Hey, I'm the one that said Zach Taylor was like 16th in the league in terms of
that is
coaching
true.
last week.
Yep.
I believe he's now 4-26 without Joe Burrow as a starter. I mean, right there. I mean, that's pretty bad. So, but overall, I said before we got on here, I made the comment. I think the Bengals defense coordinators, or not just Lou, but the whole defensive coaching staff must be getting together at the local bar with the Bearcats defensive coaching staff and sharing notes and schemes and stuff, because neither one can stop a high school running back from gaining yards. I mean, awful. So Pittsburgh runs the ball down our throat. Pickett looks way better than he is, and we're going to lose the game because we're not going to score a lot of points. I mean, it's just bottom line. We're not going to score points between them. We got play calling issues, and we got a backup quarterback making his first start ever. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how you guys said, I don't know how you run Mixon 8 times. He runs more. He doesn't run much with Burrow, but he runs more than that with Burrow. So, we don't have a backup running back. We didn't draft one, like a real one. We just run in motion. We do this, we just continue we roll out the same players we think we can. Same thing with, tight ends. Drew Sample somehow a second touchdown.
That's that Washington connection right there.
I guess, but yeah. So I don't have much to say. I really only watched the second half. It was boring as boring could be as far as NFL is concerned. So I'm sure they'll do their normal, boring press conferences and say the same boring stuff that they always do about what they're doing and what they're not doing and how they're going to get better and rally the troops and whatever. But the scheduling isn't getting easier the rest of the year. Today was the day. I mean, Pittsburgh's not good. They may be the worst 7-4 team in NFL history. So it ain't going to get easier when you're going to Kansas City and you're going to Jacksonville and you got to go to Pittsburgh still, and Cleveland coming in and all that stuff. So good luck.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you guys said. The one thing that really, the more I think about it, the play calling itself. I mean, okay, we're dropping back, and I know this is what Zach will say, that those little screen passes, line of scrimmage passes are the extension of our running game. But when you're out of shotgun doing that, it's not. I mean, you got to get under center, do some play action, allow. I don't know. The offensive line did not play poorly. I mean, they allowed him 6 seconds to throw the ball, and he panicked. I mean, I don't know, 3 times he stepped up into the pocket where the rush was coming from, and he just, I don't know, held on to the ball way too long. And that, first game's jitters, I guess. But the 3rd and 8 call in the second half where he throws the pick, in hindsight, yeah. But, Zach did scheme it open. Chase was open. If he throws it outside instead of inside, Chase catches that and, it's a first down. But my question is, why don't you just run the ball there? It was 3rd and 8. You got a backup quarterback making his first NFL start. You are on the 18-yard line. Worst case scenario, you get 3 points, right? I mean, you run the ball, you get 3 points, and you go up 6. You go up 13-7. Then, Pittsburgh has to drive the length of the field, off of a score, not of a pick. And, it's just one of those things where they just did not execute, and they
didn't put themselves in positions to win.
No. And,
that's what you have to do with a backup quarterback. You have to take it out of their hands and just set it up to win.
Yeah. And I give kudos to Browning for being confident in himself, but you're a backup for a reason. dude. I mean, you've been in the league for 6 years and you haven't gotten a shot, right? So there's a reason. The other thing is, this could be, a hot take, but Lou goes from possibly being the next great head coach to possibly not even having a job at the end of this year. I mean, if our defense is
We
giving
don't
up,
make changes like that.
huh?
We don't make changes like that.
Well, I know we don't, but I'm just saying. I'm saying that maybe we should, and Zach can
Well,
go with them. And
It's the players. They didn't. They
no,
they
it's
turned
not
over
the it's not the players. It is the
Yeah.
scheme. It is the scheme because every year the tight end down the seam
Yeah.
is wide freaking open every year.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
we
not
have
the players.
we
It's
have
not the
no
players.
safety. Awuzie and Hilton are both toast. They can't run to save their lives, and we're relying on them to cover ones and twos.
Well, Jordan Battle played really well today. Actually, we saw a little bit of Miles Murphy. He made some plays. My boy Zach had a big punch out fumble, but other than that, yeah, Dax Hill,
He was
I
not
don't know.
good.
No, he was not good in coverage. Yeah, I mean, I go back to our pod at the beginning when we lost Bates and Bell, and I said I think Von Bell we're going to miss more than Jesse Bates, and
Because we were planning on losing Bates.
right.
I still don't see how they lost both of them. They do that too often in this franchise's history. I mean, where they have two guys and they know they're losing one, but then they don't do enough to bring the second guy back. I mean, just that last season, a couple years ago with Mohamed Sanu and Marvin Jones,
Yep.
they knew they were losing Marvin Jones, but then they just didn't bring back Sanu. And I mean, yeah, it's rough. I don't get why. 2 years ago they lost Uzama and they lost the other tight end that they had, Croft.
Yeah, Croft.
And I mean, they brought in they actually replaced
Hurst,
the production there with Hurst, so it wasn't you didn't really notice it, but they do that too often where they have two guys and they don't retain one of them. They let them both go, which is I think it's just terrible that they do that.
And but
especially when you look at what Jesse Bates is doing this year, and he's back to being that top 5 safety.
Right. All right. Anything else on the stinking out of Bengals here?
No. What do we got next week?
We've got Jacksonville Monday night in Jacksonville.
They just went and beat Houston at Houston.
Yep. So.
Yeah, that's not gonna go well.
No.
So I guess we should make a prediction then.
Jacksonville. Let's see. I'll go Jacksonville 27, Bengals 13.
Yeah, I was going to go Jacksonville 24, Bengals 10.
Yeah, I'm not going to be optimistic on this prediction like I was last week. So I'll go. Yeah, I like kind of where you guys are. I'll say 27-10 Jacksonville.
So does AJ see the field next week?
McCarron? No. Not unless there's an injury.
All right. I don't know. I mean, yeah, probably not. I mean, back up, but
no, because Zach's gonna come out and say that Browning had a good played well today.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
He's gonna say he ran the offense well. He liked the looks. He made one bad throw. That's exactly what he's gonna say. He won't mention anything about the lack of run game.
Well,
and none of those beat reporters are even going to ask him about it.
Right.
No, it's not on Browning.
No, it's not on Browning.
I'm just saying.
Right, but you got to get rid of the ball. I mean, the one sack he took where he rolled out.
Oh,
and then all of a sudden the guy came from like 8 yards
you see
out of nowhere.
The linebacker from 15 yards back making a beeline for him, and
throw the dang ball
there.
away. Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? Okay, so they had his hands up So what? Hit him in his hands, drop it.
Right.
Hit him in the gut. I mean, they're not going to catch the ball. But no, so that's one thing he has to clean up is taking those sacks and just those bonehead decisions. And you see that a lot with inexperienced guys playing, right? I mean, you do. So hopefully next week would be better, but Jacksonville in Duval County there on a Monday night, it ain't going to be pretty. So, all right, moving on to it is a dreary day, so it's dreary all around for.
Is it dreary enough to wear sunglasses? I don't know, the whole game while you're coaching on an NFL sideline.
Tomlin.
Yeah.
Well, it's those probably because the stadium lights were on and they probably just shaded. It's one of those.
Oh yeah, one of those.
Yeah. So. Oh well. Now the sad thing is all the talk shows but us will be praising Mike Tomlin for making the move. The offense was clicking, Mike Tomlin's such a genius for bringing in the two coordinators and blah, 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 getting rid of Canada and X, Y, and Z. But reality is they still didn't score. I mean, they didn't score enough to win any other game but us and maybe Carolina.
Who's Pittsburgh play next week?
They play. I don't know. I mean, I can check real quick. Okay, you pull
while
it
you
up.
move on to the next thing.
We'll move on to the next thing. We'll talk. Like I said, it's dreary, so we're going to talk
Cardinals.
A little bit of UC football. It's the end of year one of the Scott Satterfield experiment. 3-9. Yeah, 3-9. First nine loss season since 1999.
That's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic.
Lost yesterday to Kansas 49-16. Crawley was there. He's braving the weather, braving the game.
Weather ended up being the best part.
Yeah, I was going to say it started out okay too, right? Took the early lead and field goal.
3-0. End of the first quarter.
Yeah, I know. And then Kansas got it rolling, and the Bearcats defense went bye-bye.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. That's why I was saying they're a worse version than the Bengals defense in terms of against the run game, and I mean Kansas just ran all over the place, kind of like West Virginia. I mean their Kansas quarterback had a 43-yard touchdown run, a 50-yard touchdown run, and he's the backup. Mm-hmm. They scored a touchdown with less than 30 seconds left. At the end of the second quarter, into the first half, went 60 yards in 2 plays to score a touchdown. That kind of almost put the nail in the coffin. I mean, it was 14-10. You figure going to the half, UC for some unknown reason does a squib kick to kick off at that point, and the guy squibs it about 15 yards. So they got it. So Kansas gets it like the 45, and so if you boot it to the 20, I'm sure Kansas would have been like, well, we have 26 seconds left. Let's just go into and they were getting the ball back. Let's just go, into the tunnel. We're up. We got the lead and on. But hell, if you're at the 45, you might as well run a play and see what happens. And sure enough, they rip off like a 30-yarder or something, and then another play, and they scored a touchdown. So it was it. So that was, as usual with the UC season, there was always 1 or 2 plays that just were ridiculously bad, and they just couldn't overcome. They weren't good enough, not enough talent to overcome it. So couldn't overcome that. I think Kansas rushed for 330 yards, somewhere in there. I mean, UC's rush defense had to be bottom 20 in the whole country. I mean, it was just terrible, and that's dealing with the pass defense, which was awful from the beginning. So I don't know what happened there. The offense again, I think they threw for 100 yards. So it was just overall bad. They need to move. It's time to it's best for the season to be over. Get them to a break, this, the next couple weeks when the transfer portal opens up, it's going to be probably a subway station, two-way subway station. So, Satterfield's I think he's got a year, or he's got, an off season. And then this upcoming year, he better, need improvement, or I think Cunningham's going to have to make a serious decision. But, if we see improvement in the middle of the Big 12, I think that's, probably that to me would be a win, mid Big 12. And especially with the new teams coming in next year. We got some, none of them are great. We'll see what Colorado does, and Arizona State might have been worse than UC this year.
Mm-hmm. But Arizona's pretty good.
Utah's decent, and Arizona was surprisingly good this year, and
right.
I can see that coach moving on already. But yeah, it's good that it's over because it was. I think a lot of the players felt it was over a couple weeks ago, so it's time to see what they do in the off season.
Yeah, and that's going to be the key, right? Is the portal, getting these recruits, selling the program, selling the vision, the hope of what it takes. And we here weren't delusional on our podcast where we're saying if UC goes 6-6, that we would consider that a huge win for him in the first year in the Big 12. Vegas, I had them at 4, right?
4.5, which I thought was ridiculous. Was definitely way low. So
especially after they won their first 2,
right.
and then hello, it is what it is. But
I'm guessing Vegas made some money on that, on people at 4.5. Because enough people put money on the UC to bump that up to 5.5 pretty quickly.
Right.
So they made a lot of money off UC this year.
They did. And then Satterfield, I guess his Power 5 record is like 44-49 or 44-50.
Yeah, he's under 500.
Yeah, he's under 500. I think he's had 1. I think he's been to 2 bowl games. I think it was. 2 or 3 bowl games, one bowl game. People around here are saying, is he the right guy for the job? Don't know yet, right? We have to give him a little time.
I'll answer that. He's not. I'll tell you right now, he's not.
He might. Yeah, I mean, he might not be. There are some coaches getting the axe, but I don't know if any of them are better. Maybe Jimbo Fisher. I don't know if he's better, but
if you're Jimbo, though, what's the point of even coaching? I mean, what's the point?
He'll be like Dan Mullins, right? And just go into the
talk
studio.
on TV.
Yep, talk on TV. But
say how you would have done it so much better than what these coaches are doing now.
Yep. Exactly. So there's some jobs opening up in the college football landscape. Ohio State might be open soon.
A&M jobs supposedly for the second time has been taken now by the Duke head coach.
Oh, the Duke head coach. Okay, Echo.
Yep.
Okay, he was an assistant there under Jimbo, I believe. And so, all right. Well, enough of that.
Now, Jimbo does have one. I mean, he gets paid. I was listening to this the other day. Unlike most of these contracts, if you're fired or, you lose your job, whatever, then let's say somebody else hires you. And let's say you're making $8 million and they hire you for $6 million, then the other school only has to pay $2 million out of the 8. Not with Jimbo's contract. Texas A&M owes him straight up. So if he makes $6 million, he's getting $16 million for that year. I mean, Texas, there's a turkey. I didn't put him on the list. I don't know what that guy's name was, but I just thought about that, man. There's one of your turkeys of the year.
Yeah,
the A&M AD.
I got that on the
any of those guys, Michigan State AD. You should not, unless you're Nick Saban, unless you are so, you've proven yourself beyond even a shadow of a doubt. Why are you signing someone to a 10-year contract? Yeah. Jimbo Fisher had a couple good years at Florida State, which is ACC, not SEC. That's like Division I and Division II, kind of thing. And he had success there. And you're signing a 10 years of this, Michigan State with the do there. I mean, just it's ridiculous. These guys just throw
After
money
a
around.
COVID
like it's
year,
nothing.
after the COVID year, that's what's crazy. But
So there's some turkeys I didn't put on my list, but they should be.
I got them on my list, so we got it covered. All right. Anything else? Carly, you got let's lighten this up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So Carly's got
We'll lighten
this
it up, and then we have a positive after that. So.
Right, exactly. So let's go ahead and lighten it up with the bowl.
Okay, so what I got here is I got a list of bowl names, and we're gonna do a little game out of it. So some of the bowl names are current names, like 2023 bowl names, and I'm talking with the sponsor and everything. Some of them are made up. I completely made them up, and some of them are from past bowl seasons. So they don't exist anymore, but they're from the past. So you two got to figure out which category each of these fit. So they're made up, they're from the past, like or they're a real bowl from the past, or they're a current 2023 bowl.
Hey, if you are watching live on YouTube, throw it in the chat. Go ahead and answer if you can.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
So the first one, the 68 Ventures Bowl. Is that 2023, a former bowl, or is it made up? And I will say there's a mix of all of them. I'm not tricking you that way.
I'm gonna say it's made up.
68 Ventures. I'm gonna say that's this year.
Sam's right. He gets a point. That is this year. 68 Ventures Bowl.
Never heard of it. But
never heard of 68 Ventures.
When's that one being played? Is that like a December 17th?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It is a
January 1.
December 23rd in Mobile, Alabama.
Hey.
23rd in Mobile.
So that took over for the Mobile Bowl.
Okay. Next one. The Frisco Football Classic. This year, in the past, or made up?
I'm going to say in the past.
Frisco Football Classic.
Yeah, I'm going to say in the past.
It is in the past. Miami played in 2021.
Yeah.
That was what they played in, the Frisco Football Classic. I'm sure you all bought tickets for that.
Hey.
Okay. I got to look at my list again. The famous Toast Bowl.
That's made up.
Yeah, that's made up.
Bowl. No points for either one of you. That is this year. That is a bowl this year.
Did it take over for the famous
Idaho?
Yeah.
No, it took over for the Bahamas Bowl.
Oh, that's right, because it got moved because the Bahamas Bowl, for some reason, they decided to renovate their stadium in December. Or, it's like, what the heck are you doing?
So it's literally called the famous Toastery Bowl.
Toastery Bowl. So you're going to have
not to be confused with the Pop-Tart Bowl. That's a different bowl.
That's
and
a
that
different
is
bowl?
this year
Okay.
as well. Not on my list, but that is this year.
Man, so
next.
what's the commercial is going to be? Toastery, if it's not Pop-Tarts, right?
Okay, next, the Bass Pro Camping Bowl.
Oh, there was a Campers Bowl, but it wasn't.
Yeah, but
Bass Pro.
it's Camping
World.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's made up.
Yeah. It is made up. Yeah,
that's a good. That one would get a lot of people, I believe.
Yeah.
But,
okay, next, the Zaxby's Heart of Dallas Bowl.
Oh, Zaxby, that's this year's.
If it's not this year, it's a real bowl.
Yeah, it's
maybe
a real bowl.
In the past they might have changed it, but I'm going to say this year.
This year?
Yeah.
Yep.
Both of you? Yep. It was in the past.
Okay.
In the past. Yeah, I pulled that one from 2015.
Ooh.
Okay. The Motel 6 Cactus Bowl.
Motel 6. Leave the lights on. I'm gonna say they have to sponsor. So it's either they need all the. That's the only. I'm gonna say it's real this year. Motel 6 Cactus Bowl. That's what I'm
gonna
saying.
say in the past.
It is in the past. It was real in the past.
Yeah.
2015. 2015, the Motel 6 Cactus Bowl. Okay. What about the Guaranteed Rate Bowl?
Now that's
this year.
accurate. That's this year. Yeah.
That is this year. Yeah.
Yep.
Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Okay. I've got, let's see, I've got two more. The Verizon Cellular Bowl.
That's made up.
You think it's made up?
That's made up. Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
you're better than this than me, so I'll agree with you. Then it's made up.
It is made up, yes. The Verizon Cellular Bowl. And the last one, the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl.
That's this year,
It's-
or I know
it's
it
in
was
the
last year
past,
for sure, but
they're doing it again this year. I'm going to say they are. So that's
yeah,
this year.
I don't know. He might have with the writer strike. He might have lost some money. So
Oh, that's a good point. I don't know.
I'll go in the past. I'll just say the past.
They might not have been able to script the game this year
That's
without
right.
any writers.
That's right.
So.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Okay. The LA Bowl is a current bowl, except it is not Jimmy Kimmel anymore. Now it's hosted by Gronk, and that's the official name of it. The LA Bowl hosted by Gronk Bowl.
Oh, nice.
I mean, what in the hell is that?
Got to kick a field goal, I guess. It's a 40-yard field goal for See, I was thinking you were going to pull out like the Blue Bonnet Bowl.
Oh no, I knew you knew that one. I knew that one.
All these old bowls.
No, those are old. Those are easy ones.
You didn't have the Tax Slayer. Did you say the Tax Slayer Bowl?
No, because I knew that. That's another
Gator
one.
Bowl.
I knew the
Tax Slayer Gator Bowl.
Yeah, the Bad Boy Mowers Bowl. Come on.
No,
the
Gasparilla Bowl. Bowls, and we know
the
those.
Gasparilla Bowl.
Yeah, that's still in there. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I was looking for random crap.
Yeah, well, that was a lot of random crap right there. So that was fun. All right. Next week, just a little preview. I mean, we'll talk a little more about it at the end, but we will have our bowl predictions since all the bowls should be filled by then.
Yeah, noon on Sunday.
Yep, noon on Sunday. So, we'll be coming to you live sometime Sunday. Don't know exactly what time, but because the Bengals play on Monday, so we're wide open on Sunday. So yeah, but
when going to be an interesting playoff this year in terms of the certain teams win. On Saturday, how they're going to figure out who the 4 are going to the playoff. I wish this year there was really 12, man. Make life a lot easier with 12. So
well, it would, but ESPN's probably loving this because it's got tune in Tuesday nights now, so that we can send our SEC bias up the ranking. So okay, here we go. So that was fun. So now it's still dreary out, but our spirits are picked up a little bit, and we're going to move on to the FC Cincy soccer match last night. Excuse me. Took on Philly, defeated them 1-0. Good hard fought match. I mean, we expected that. I don't know if it was a little rust on FC's part because they've been off for so long gameplay, but they came out victorious here at TQL Stadium. So, that's one positive going Cincinnati's direction. So what's your take on the game last night and looking forward to the Columbus Crew? Hell is real again.
Part 3.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, little side tangent. I don't know why MLS wouldn't have playoff games on TV and they're just behind the paywall, but whatever. That's a separate issue. I mean, they beat Philly 1-0 with a goal there in stoppage time. Bit of a controversial goal from what I'm seeing. Murphy may have been offsides when he headed the ball down to Mascara there for the goal. So it really just kind of depends on the angle of the screenshot that you're looking at. There are quite a few where he looks offsides, and then there are some where he doesn't. But I'll take it. It's about time Cincinnati gets the benefit of the doubt on one of those. So I'm not going to complain about it whatsoever. It's a good win. We were missing Miazga. He was out. Arias was out, and Wobodo was out as well. So
it's a big loss.
To advance without those 3 guys is huge. I don't know what the status for Wobodo and Arias will be going forward, but Miazga will be back for the Columbus Crew game. And Wobodo, they said, was in training all week and then just didn't play. So I don't know if it's an illness issue, injury issue, or what that is. So hopefully he's back and ready, because I think he's he's extremely important for us against Columbus.
Yeah, it should be a battle. Two teams that, I don't know how much they dislike each other, but they seem to when they play. And I know the fans dislike each other. So, this would be like an AFC North playoff game in a sense, in terms of two close geographic teams and that play each other several times during the regular season. And so should be a good battle. Obviously, like Sam said, if those FC Cincy players, Miazga, I have no idea what his status is.
I think he's fine. I think it was
stuff.
just a 1-game suspension.
I didn't know I thought they were still investigating though, based on him, whatever after match stuff is.
Yeah, it sounds like those were exaggerated.
They still haven't come out with I don't think they've come out with the final, decision or whatever. And so hopefully he'll be back. Wobodeau, hopefully it was a good sign they at least practiced during the week. So maybe he was just borderline, just coming back. So they need those guys full strength, or pretty much full strength to go. Columbus has been playing really well second half of the season. Orlando had been playing really well as well. Orlando got a guy the red card 70th minute or so Columbus went up a player and took advantage of that when they played. So should be a good game. FC, I think the game is going to be somewhere that to win. They're going to need it somewhere. I don't think FC is at a position where they're scoring 4 or 5 goals anymore. They play well defensively, good goalkeeping, and then take advantage of some opportunities. And let's hope they win by more than 1 goal, because that's too much heart stopping kind of stuff. Let's get it. Let's find some. Let's find some. At least get a 2-goal cushion kind of thing. So should be fun. Fans will be really into it. It'll be loud and crazy, and even leading up to it especially when you got the hell is real in a playoff format. So winner goes to the MLS Cup Finals, and which would be here as well. They can pull it off again. So let's see. Let's hope the weather's not like 15 degrees on a in December on a to play. I'm sure it ain't gonna be great.
No, Saturday night, 6 p.m., TQL Stadium. Be there, folks, because need to get the Valley rocking. All right. Moving on real quick. Xavier had a really easy time with Bryant University, 100-75. Sean Miller liked the way they were shooting the ball. They played a little tougher than they did previously, but good job for them. Oakland and Houston are coming up, so they got a break, but then Houston comes to town. Xavier has 6 home games in a row. Cintas Center needs to be packed for that Houston team because they are ranked number 6. So if you can get down to the Cintas Center, please do so. It's Friday night. And I know Xavier basketball team and coaches would be appreciative of that. Moving to UC, the big news with UC, the NCAA reinstated their big center from Senegal there. Is it
Aziz?
Yeah, Aziz.
Bandiego,
Van Diego, I believe that's how you pronounce it. If not, we apologize. But they just destroyed Georgia Tech, and still no word on the other transfer ruling. But you probably have to get Aziz lawyers, Walker's lawyers, and that's the only way that the NCAA seems to. Whatever. But, good win for them. Next up, they've got a couple of cupcakes, Howard and Florida Gulf Coast. And then after that, Xavier on December 9th. So that'll should be a
good game. I mean,
should be a good game. Yeah, should be a real good game.
I think UC's got the, with him being eligible, that's a game changer.
It is.
You got a guy now in Locken who's a 6'10" shooter now.
Right.
I think he made 5 of 6 against Georgia Tech. I mean, it just opens everything up. I mean, Aziz may be the most athletic big man. It's close in the country, top 5 at least. So to throw him into the center there, and they've been shooting the ball fairly well from the outside. So, I think it's a game changer for him.
Yep, it'll be interesting. We'll have more once football season starts winding down. We'll kick into the basketball and really cover it.
Well, football season is winding down.
Well, yeah, football season is winding down for us, I guess. So yeah, we might be picking it up a little sooner than I anticipated, but yeah, we'll definitely have full court coverage of that crosstown shootout on December 9th. One or a couple of news for the Reds here. I know it's free agent season, trade season. Jonathan India is being rumored to be on the block, which I don't think any of us are surprised about. I don't know if we would want to see him leave. Depends on who we get back, how many prospects or how many frontline starters we can get for him. If we can get one, number 3 starter and then a prospect, yeah, we got to make that move. But India is rumored to be gone, which would leave a void as far as leadership with Votto being gone and India being gone. Somebody has to step in to make that move, and that's why I think they brought back Alex Blandino on a minor league deal. So
there was no reason for them to bring back Alex Blandino. The
yes,
dude pitched as much in the
saying.
minors as he did in the majors.
He improved his knuckleball, so he can go out.
God.
He can go out on the mound. That's 2 birds with 1 stone right there. You got your right-handed bat, utility player. And
he won't even play for Louisville this year. He's that bad. He'll play for Chattanooga.
In your relief pitcher, but no, the big thing coming out of
not even news.
No, the big news is though Novelli Marte was injured sliding into second base last night in the Winter League. He goes in and he's holding it at the back of his leg. They come out and they're working on it. So I don't know if it was just a major cramp or if it was a hamstring injury, but he did have to have help off the field. So, you like to see, the guys working on their craft, but, you'd hate to see any type of injury that could potentially delay his spring training in Major League, because he was tearing up at the end of September there. Anything on the Reds or anything else we covered in the week that was?
No.
All right. Moving forward now, we're going into our trivia. Last week, Sam, you had the trivia, I believe.
No, I don't think so.
Don't?
It might have been me.
No, it was you, because I thought it was going to be a big old list, but I don't think it was.
No, it was quick.
Yeah, it was real quick. I think we got it boom, boom.
Oh, it was a team. Which Texas professional sports team has never won a championship?
Right. And we all said
the Texans.
Houston Texans. All right, so mine's a little more difficult. It is a list, but you have to put your thinking cap on. There are 4 players that have hit a home run as a teenager and after turning 40 years old. Who are those 4 players? 2 you might get. 2 you probably won't. I'll just tell you that right now. I mean,
4 as a teenager and 2 as a teenager, 2 after. No, 4 total.
4 total. Yes, 1
teenager and after 40.
Right. Yep.
I was gonna say Griffey, but he didn't make it to 40.
Nope, he did not.
What about A-Rod? Did he make it to 40?
A-Rod is one of those. Yes.
That's one.
Henry Aaron play that long?
I don't think he was 19. I think he was over 40, but I don't think he hit one as a teenager.
See, I'm thinking Pujols, but I don't think he came up as a teenager.
Mm-mm.
I think he was a little older.
Yes, I mean, somebody coming straight from high school, or I guess international player.
Right. Yeah. So if you know it, if you're and watching us live on YouTube, you can go ahead and put it in the chat, or you could, send us your guesses at Cincy Sports Scene on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'll give you another minute to think here or so.
Yeah, it's
2 left-handers and a right-hander.
2 lefties and another righty.
Yeah. I'll say one had a very unique batting style or stance, I guess.
Well, who was the guy that's like still playing? Like he's like 55 years old. He's playing in
Juan
some
Franco?
league or whatever. Yeah, Julio
Franco.
Julio
Yeah.
Franco.
Julio Franco, not
Julio,
Juan Franco. Yeah. Julio
Is it
Franco.
him?
No, it's not Julio. No.
I think Bartolo Colon is still playing somewhere too.
Yeah, well, he hit one after 40, but he didn't hit one before 40.
So it's not Julio Franco then.
What
No.
about Manny Ramirez? Did he get one
No.
after?
No.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, you guys probably. I mean, like I said, you might get one more, but I don't think.
What's kind of the era? Like recent-ish, or are these old
Well,
timers?
I would say 2. Well, the one that I think you might get is probably the same era as A-Rod. Okay. The other one, 70s, 80s. And then the one before that, early 1900s.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, right.
Larry Walker.
No.
Same era.
Good guess,
as
though.
A-Rod.
Real good guess. Yeah, when I saw this, I said A-Rod. I mean, I was just going down then, but yeah, I did not say the other 3. So if you think you know it out there on TV land, once again, the question was, there are 4 players that have hit a home run as a teenager, and after turning 40, they got one of the 4 in A-Rod. If you know the other 3, go ahead and put it in the chat, or send it to us on Instagram or Facebook, or here at YouTube at Cincy Sports Scene. All right, so now it was Thanksgiving here on Thursday. A lot of football games, rivalry week, but our topic of the week is going to be sports turkeys. We want to pay homage to the turkey. And what better way than to come up with a list of players, people, teams, etc., that we feel deserve being called a turkey. So
I will say I went into this like not real. I only had like a couple in mind. Then I really started thinking about it, and I ended up with a big old long list. So,
it
was much easier for me to think of them than I thought I would.
Right.
I thought it would be. So
yeah, I cut mine off about after 10. So then I was like, all right.
Yeah, I have 10 exactly as well. So.
And I probably could have gone on and on and on, but
oh no, I have 9.
You have 9. All right, so you want to go ahead and start us off there?
Yeah, so a lot of mine are not individuals; they're groups, or they're and I don't even know the names of some of these people, some of them. But so my first one, I'll start out just because of recency. It's the Big Ten West. Is a turkey. Is an absolute turkey. I mean, Iowa is one of the worst football teams in the country, and they're 7-2 or whatever in the Big Ten West. and go and in the Big Ten. I mean, if they were in the Big 12, which isn't all that good of a conference, what, maybe 4 wins? I mean, for the whole season.
I don't know. Iowa's defense is really, really good. I mean,
against the Big Ten
Against
West.
the Big Ten
Well,
West.
they
That's
played
part of
up-
the.
they
That's
played
part
up
of the
Michigan's
reason.
going to
though.
win by 40 in that game. I would take the
Probably.
over no matter what it is, whatever
Yeah,
the point spread is. I think
Probably.
it's 21 or something.
Probably
That game is going to be an absolute blowout. So
it was
yeah.
2 years ago.
yeah, the Big Ten West is a big fat turkey.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good one. Sam?
Well, just to piggyback off of Crawley there, the Pac-12 Commissioner's Office is running that conference
The
into
former.
the ground after
The former.
Yes.
the
Pac-12.
former. And what's ironic is this is probably the best season the Pac-12
Mhm.
conference has had in terms
In
of
a long
national
time,
relevance, and they're just gone.
In a long time, yeah. And they brought him in. Is it Yormark or what?
No, that's Big
no,
12
That's
guy.
Big 12. Yeah.
Brett
They-
Yormark.
Yeah, Yormark. They brought this guy in because he was in the TV entertainment industry, and he was supposed to be making
He's supposed to be able to get the TV deals.
yeah,
Yeah, and he didn't.
No, he did not.
Oh, Yormark, or maybe it was the Big 12 president before that. I've said this before. Reached out to the Pac-12 commissioner and said, "Hey, do you want
Yep.
to team up? Like we
Right.
could, do some kind of basically not merge the two conferences, but almost, where they play each other and that kind of thing." And the Pac-12 basically put their hand up and said, "We don't want to talk to you."
Yeah, because they thought the Big 12 was going to go bye-bye and the Pac-12 would stay on, but when you have two of your teams moving to the SEC, and a couple of your teams moving to, well, that's the Big 12 is moving to the SEC, but a couple of them four of them moving to the
Big Ten.
And then the other four are moving to, poor Washington State and Oregon State, just sitting there like, all right, we're gonna sue everybody, and we've got the naming rights for the Pac-12. We get the $400 million. We'll decide how it's going to be divvied up here. All right. So mine is similar to that. I just said the NCAA, right? I mean, just with all these, the portal, the NIL, just everything. The NCAA doesn't want to get involved in anything that really matters, but yes, they will just say, no, you transferred twice and you have to sit out now for X amount of games, even though you're going to sue us and we're going to rescind that, but you're going to have to sit out. So the NCAA, legislative policies, they're a big turkey.
Yeah, I agree with that one. They basically don't even exist anymore. So.
Right. Well, in football, they don't. I mean, they just don't.
Yeah.
Basketball, they still do.
I'm going to go with Bill Belichick's coaching tree as a big turkey. So I looked it up.
Shout out to Phil Farr.
just to verify that this was something that, and I actually found a list of somebody actually sat down, man, this person has no life, sat down and ranked the 10 best coaches from Bill Belichick's coaching tree. And you know who they ranked first? And this tells you how bad it is. Bill O'Brien.
Oh,
no, Bill O'Brien, who is not a very good coach for the Texans.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's right. He wasn't.
He was not all that successful for the Texans.
He wasn't.
He just coached for about 5 years, but I mean, that was number one.
I thought they were going to say Vrabel.
Vrabel wasn't. He never coached under Belichick.
Oh,
he just
never
played.
coached.
He just played.
Okay. I thought he was an assistant, like an assistant linebacker coach.
Nope.
So now they try to put Nick Saban on there as because he was a defense coordinator.
Because he coached at.
Don't count that. I don't count that. And he was terrible in the NFL anyway, Nick Saban.
Right.
So,
right.
So you got here's your bottom. Brian Daboll, Eric Mangini, Romeo Crennel, Josh McDaniels, Matt Patricia, and Joe Judge.
Forget Charlie Weiss's.
Charlie Weiss
never coached the NFL.
He never coached in the NFL. NFL.
Never head coach. So, but he was terrible too. He'd have been put on there too.
You get the keys to Notre Dame, and you just
So there you go. Bill Belichick's coaching tree.
Josh McDaniel. Yeah, that is a good one. All right, Sam.
That is a good one. So former Bengal here, Jerome Simpson. You guys remember him? The guy that did the
Yep.
front flip into the end zone.
I remember
Who's-
him and he had,
Yeah.
didn't he have some like he got caught with marijuana on his front porch or
Oh,
something
it's
weird?
worse than that. Yeah,
I knew it was
he's in
something
federal
goofy.
prison. He's in federal
okay.
prison now
Oh.
because
He was
because of that,
selling or
because
something, wasn't he?
he was selling drugs and he'd have them delivered through the United States Postal Service.
Oh
to his
yeah,
house.
I knew it was something with the mail or whatever.
Gosh.
So is he back in the news for something, or is he just
No,
now in
that's
federal
just-
prison?
And then he would
Is
ship
that-
them out. That's how he got busted.
Uh.
No, it's just
Okay.
it's,
That's why he's,
I was like, that's
is that why he's the turkey?
yeah. That's why he's a turkey.
All right. I had this down. I had Texas A&M, right? They are turkeys. Their AD for giving Jimbo the jumbo contract, right? Guaranteed money. The fan base thinking that they should win the SEC West every year. But they're the third best team, just because they have resources. They got to be able to get the players in there. And then just doing, their fan base. Oh, Mark Stoops not good enough, and so you go with a proven head coach at Kentucky who's actually done some really nice things there, and the fan base like, no, he's not a big name splash, and that's what they wanted with Jimbo, and look where that got him: 8-4. The only time was the COVID year, and they did well. And, they were right outside. I guess they were the top 5 or 6 at the final football rankings. And, we got to get, we're the greatest thing since sliced bread. And all these COVID coaches, they haven't amounted to anything. So Texas A&M and their coaching practices, hiring practices.
Okay. I have a real recent one. This just actually happened yesterday. The Auburn pass defense. Could you? I mean,
on the anniversary,
I could have schemed something better than that.
Yes.
So I mean, the analysis this morning from actual college football people. I mean, they lit into how horrible that was in terms of what they did, the scheme and things. So
rush 2, 1 spy, and
and the other guys just run
8.
around like
covered the
double
inside
covered
guys,
3 guys, and let 2 guys run by themselves.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
So there you go, the Auburn pass defense.
That's pretty good.
Ryan Day can't beat Michigan. Simple as that. It's turkey.
Yeah, I've got him on my list, along with the Ohio State unrealistic fans, right? I mean, the fans are just, they are unrealistic.
They're turkeys every day of the year. So
They are. So sorry, all you Ohio State fans, but you're calling for his head because he can't beat Michigan, which rightly so. But he has 5 losses against top 5 teams, and that's it. I mean, okay, if you're losing to teams outside the top 5, okay, maybe, but yeah, I mean, who are you going to get? And some of these fans are calling for Heartline to come in. It's like, no, I mean, and then they want Fickle to come back, and it's like, no, the only thing that matters really to both programs, right, is winning the game. And if you can't win, then it's time to make a change. And 3 years in a row, yeah, I got it. My prediction, he's gone. He's going either to Chicago or Los Angeles Chargers if they open up. Those are the 2 that he'll go to the NFL, where all he has to do is just coach. And he's got, Justin Fields at Chicago, who he coached really well, or Justin Herbert at San Diego. Next.
Next is you.
I just said, I had the
That was
Ohio
Sam's.
State. Yeah, but I had the Ohio State fan base. So,
okay.
but that's all right. That's all right. No, I'll go. I'm going with Jim Harbaugh, just because he's a big turkey.
I had the whole Harbaugh family.
Well, the whole Harbaugh family, yeah. But yeah, I mean, Jim is, skirting the rules, trying to, cheating, whatever, and got caught, paid the price, still beat Ohio State without him on the sideline.
Without him.
So that's probably
Sitting on the couch.
right.
Shit,
still
that
people-
assistant coach is a turkey too. Goodness,
Yeah,
crying after every
yeah,
game. You thought
yeah.
Jim Harbaugh got shot.
God. But yeah, yeah, Jim Harbaugh. Even though I was rooting for Michigan, but go blue.
Okay. Yeah.
Harbaugh's a turkey.
Are you gonna wear your Michigan shirt tomorrow?
I actually wore it yesterday for the game, so but no,
Yeah.
I should, but I might wear it Friday going into Big Ten week.
Yeah. Okay. I have and again, he's no matter what he does, he's gonna be on my list. Deshaun Watson.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
definitely a turkey, if not more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely more than that, but he had to go on my list, so he'd go on my villain list too. And that was, part of my struggle was I had more a villain than a turkey. So the Castellinis did not go on my list, so because they're definitely villain territory, but really so is Deshaun Watson. So probably should have kept him in that list.
Yeah, well,
I did put him on there. Anytime I can rip on him, I'm going to. So karma sucks, Deshaun. So
there you go. Yep. Sam.
NFL referees, biggest group of turkeys, specifically Mike Tolbert and the two Hockuleys. Those two jokers. Get out of town.
That's the Hockuleys. Touchdown right there. All right. So here's one. Here's a group of people that I just, I've got any of the talking heads. I know we're a talking head, but any of the talking heads, national talking heads, aka Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Robert Griffin the third. I mean, these guys are they just talk and then they just be loud and then I also go with TV announcers. Gus Johnson thinking every freaking play is the end all be all. Maserati Mar made a 3-yard catch. What a play! What a throw by McCabe. Oh, geez, old Peach, give it a break, Gus.
he's made his life off that.
Well, I know he has, but it's be like an Al Michaels. Make the call when the call needs to be made, not every single play. So, yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Turkeys.
This one's a little bit in the past now, but still turkey to me. Whoever chose Guardians to be Cleveland's baseball team name. So I don't know who that was, but whoever that was,
Chief Wahoo
they shouldn't be allowed to vote in any election anymore either. I mean, you gotta have something. They gotta have something taken away, some kind of right taken away for choosing that name. So, and you could probably put the Commanders in there too. That name's shitty as well, but but it's better than the Guardians. So there you go. That's a turkey for me.
I'm going to go with the Oakland A's owner, John Fisher. Turkey right there.
Yep. That's a good one. I've got Jim Irsay, the Colts owner. He's a drunken turkey, but or turduncan, right? But yeah,
Bill popping.
Yeah, he is a big old turkey. Doesn't protect his quarterback, and then he just gets rid of whoever, and just pays him all this money and then cuts him. But Jim Irsay, turkey.
Okay, I have Nathaniel Hackett and Zach Wilson as a tag team partner. Turkeys, I mean the Broncos are about ready to. They're whipping the Browns today. They're going to be over 500 after today. He was how bad of a coach he was, and then obviously Zach Wilson's pretty bad. So I put them as a dynamic duo.
Sam?
The history of the Cleveland Browns quarterback situation.
That's good. What, 20, 22,
Whatever
23?
they're at now, 20.
Yeah, 24.
Whatever, 27.
Yeah, something like that. All right, I'm going to go way back. Well, not way back, but speaking of the, Cleveland, a couple of things. Heartbreaking losses from Cleveland sports. You had the drive, the fumble, and then you had the biggest turkey of them all, J.R. Smith, in the finals there. J.R. Smith. I'm going to take off my shirt, run around, and be a turkey. So, congratulations.
Okay, I think I only have one more. Yeah, I only have one more that really works. As a couple of them you guys said, and this kind of works off of Sam's A's owners. I put the Mets and the Padres payrolls.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're turkeys. How can you spend that much money and be that bad? So.
Yeah, I don't have any more.
I just got a few. I went old school. One's new. James Harden. He's probably the biggest turkey now. He's just he's just a turkey. It's
He likes
not
to eat a
me.
bunch of turkey too.
Yeah, I'm a team player. I make everybody better. Yeah, right. Then I had like Leon Lett. Right. He's a turkey. Jim Marshall going the wrong way, scored a touchdown. Let's see, Chris Webber in his timeout. Oops. And then the entire Chicago Bears, right? They're starting to play a little bit better, but they're bad too. And there's some of their decisions are turkey-fied. So there we go. If you got a turkey out there that you think might qualify, go ahead and leave it in the chat or the comment section on Instagram and Twitter at Cincy Sports Scene. Love to hear what you have to say about our turkeys, and if you have any more turkeys out there. And I know we could say Zach Taylor and Lou right now because of the way they're in Satterfield and John Cunningham and everything else that's going wrong.
I think those were given based on our earlier conversation.
Well, yeah, yes. But yeah, so that is it. Hopefully you enjoyed the sports turkey. Next week's show, like we said before, we have our bowl selection preview, and I believe we are going to have a guest picker, Mr. Mike Holland, who is the bookie of Finneytown, I guess. He knows all the spreads and all the stuff that's going on, and he'll give you the inside information if you are the type of person that wants to try to get some Christmas money for the family there. He might be able to help you out. So, stay tuned and tune in and listen to our bowl prediction show next week. You can find us once again live on YouTube at Cincy Sports Scene and on all the podcasting platforms. And until next week, gentlemen, take care.
See ya.
Go FC.